So, hello guys, welcome back to another episode of our podcast named Hackcast. And today we'll be having 8th episode with Kavishka Gihan. Kavi Gihan, you will usually know, he's usually doing the hack the box thing. And anyone who's getting into the CTFs and any other things, this is gonna be a podcast for you. So, and also, before starting the podcast, we will be having few announcements for you. So we are having a lot of boot camps and a lot of other resources that are on the website live now, so you can check them out. The link is in the description. And also, we'll be having the traditional courses that we were doing, the Bug Bounty Batch 10. If you're a beginner, want to start your journey into Bug Bounty, check it out. And also, if you're already into Bug Bounty and brush up your skills to the next level, then you can just check out the advanced Bug Bounty courses. And for everyone, we will be having multiple other things like the boot camps of RC, 10-day critical bug bounty hunting, the recon, and things like that in a practical manner with the live demonstrations. And also, we will be having few more things like resources, checklists, and many more things. So don't forget to check it out in the description. And let's get into the video. So hello everyone, here we are having Kavi Gihan with us, one of my good friends. So let me introduce himself. Okay, or you wanna get introduced by yourself too?
Hello guys. My name is Kavishka Gihan. I am a security researcher, part-time content creator, and I still go to school. Actually, I'm at my first year of my high school. I create content for companies like Hack the Box, Integrity, and companies like that. Like I said, I play CTFs part-time, I want to say, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So as much as I know you, you are into bug bounties, the CTF things, and a lot of things, right? As I can see your swag, the hack the
Yeah,
box T-shirt, right? That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
full sack.
So I wanna ask you things. I was very curious about this podcast, to be honest. So if I ask,
Yeah,
like,
same.
how was your journey? How you get into all this hacking and all these things?
Actually, I didn't go into hacking like at first. I first started with programming. Actually, it was a while back in, I think, 2 years ago. I want to say it was the first wave of Corona hit. I was like so bored at home, so I just started with programming. Right, I started with Python, and I went into a little bit of networking and stuff. So while
Mm-hmm.
I was one day I was watching a weird YouTube video, and one of the YouTube videos from Hackcast, it's a YouTube as well,
Yep.
popped up on my
Yep.
uh, feed, right? So I was kind of curious, okay, what this was. So I just started this channel, and it was about hacking and things. Like back in the day, I didn't know like anything else about hacking.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew a little bit of networking and programming. So I was kind of curious about hacking, and I wanted to learn about what it is and what's done. So I just kept watching videos, and one day I'm here.
So it was all about just getting inspired from a YouTube video and that sort of things, right?
Actually, that's exactly that's a nutshell. Yeah.
So can you specify the timing, like that like few years back or like 2 years back, 3 years back, or it's been a long way?
Yeah, actually, I think I started when I was 16 and a half, I want to say. It was like October, November when I was 16. I don't remember the exact timeline, but yeah, when I was like after like COVID hit, I started, like I said, programming and went into
So it was
networking,
all
and
about the
then I
2019
started
thing,
getting,
right? 2019 ending.
yeah, exactly. Like it's the first wave of Corona. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a great thing for everyone else, as I know that everyone was so much into
Yeah,
the world is changed after the first wave of the COVID.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So you started with the programming and then just getting curious about the hacking and stuff, and here you are with all the way figuring your way
Yeah,
out from the
exactly.
journey. Now,
Yeah.
you are also into bug bounties and that thing, right?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like a controversial conversation for me, because I wanted to get into bug bounty like after like 6 or 7 months of when you do the journey packing. After I did hack the box for a while, I wanted to get in this bug bounty like everyone is talking about. So I actually signed up for Bug Crowd, I think. Yeah, Bug Crowd or Hacker One. I'm seeing you're wearing a Hacker One t-shirt. I'll shout out to them. So I actually created an account and a Hacker One, and I did some. They had a CTF event back in the day, like a invite program or something. So I played in the CTF, and I got invited into like two private programs, right? So I was like really happy about that. I was like, yeah, I got invited to a private program. So, anyways, after like a couple of weeks, I was considering, oh, maybe I should go into that, or maybe not. So after like a couple of weeks, I just started like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot, right? What could go wrong? So actually, I started like my having notes and just I read my whole setup and I went into like started hacking and I could like not, I couldn't find anything like literally I spent like 4 hours straight like without any water, without going to the toilet, nothing. I spent like 4 hours straight and I could just find nothing. I That's kind of like that was kind of sad for me because I mean usually for like in a CTF event after like 2 or 3 hours I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find something. Oh no, I'm gonna like learn something at least. But with Hell Bug Bounty, not gonna lie, I
I was
didn't
having
find
a
anything.
million questions related to that thing. There's a whole lot of things. Just wait for it. And
Yeah, sure,
in
sure,
the whole
sure.
journey of CTF hunting, which was your favorite scenario? If you want to just mention it out, like everyone has the greatest scenario in their journey, right? So, what was the very amazing scenario of your journey?
I want to say it's related to Hack the Box actually. So
Mm-hmm.
it was I think again a year ago. So I created my first box and I submitted it, right. And it was at first it got rejected like 4 times. I would say like first time it was some reason, and like I said, it got rejected like 4 times straight, and I was like super devastated from it. And I made my second box. Like while the first box was on submission, I submitted my second box, and one of my great friends, David OXDF from Hack the Box, reached out to me and said, "Hey, I think we're gonna accept your second box. It's pretty cool. I think we're gonna accept it and release it. Congratulations and all that." And I was like super happy. Like, can you just imagine? I was creating boxes for more than like 3 to 4 months, and no box got accepted. And all of a sudden, my second box got accepted, and it was like one of the greatest moments in my entire life for sure.
Definitely, the first prize or the first exceptions, right? They are pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no, you can say, no hate to that. That's perfectly insane thing.
Yeah,
Now after
exactly.
that, we all have done few times in hunting. We all have done a lot of other things. As you, everyone is doing their own thing. You are doing the hack the box, right? Are you doing any job? No, you are.
Yeah,
I guess you are in the high school. You just mentioned it.
yeah. I'm still at high school. Yeah, I'm not doing a job currently. No.
So what it's like to create or work with the hack the box? Can you elaborate or how you get this T-shirt? I'm pretty curious.
Yeah, actually, it's one of the greatest things in my day. When I wake up, I just want to, oh shit, I've got this thing to do, I've got that thing to do. But something that like I look forward to is to like work with Hackworks and create content. So as you asked, the way I got into Hack the Box was that I when I after I started hacking in general, I actually looked up. Okay, how can I get more knowledge about hacking? How can I like practice my hacking skills and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So again, the YouTuber Hackersploit had a video about Hack the Box playing a box called Lame. I think it's the first box from Hack the Box,
Yep.
and I watched that video and I was like kind of impressed. Okay, so I then that's how I got to know about Hackbox actually. So I signed up to the site and I started playing there. And after I started playing there, I was of course at bad first, right? Like everyone is. After a couple of months of playing though, I got to know about this program called release machines, like weekly releasable machines. So I read an article about this boxes and I got to know, okay, so we can as normal community members, we can create boxes for them and submit them. I didn't know that something like that existed like before. So I was kind of impressed by that as well. So I thought, why not give it a shot? So, like I said, I started creating box, and it took almost like 3 months. I want to say like 3 or 4 months. It was a hard box, a hard Linux box, but it took me
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or 4 months, and right after that, I just fell in love. Like for me, just creating a box is not just about creating a box and submitting to Hackbox. For me, it's like the journey that we go through to create a box. You know, the research, the storyline we put in, like the imagination. Like you all have to collaborate that into one certain project. It's for me, it's just amazing.
So it's about the curiosity and having a behind the box mind.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So it's all about creating boxes or making some vulnerable machines. What is the difference between real life hacking and the CTF?
That's a very controversial question as well. So let me
That's
put it
why.
in that way, right? So let's take out in a scenario of a normal SQL injection, right? Normal
Hmm.
scenario. In a CDF, the whole main goal of CDF is for you to learn something, right?
Hmm.
Let's say you go on a plain CDF, and maybe there are some things in CDF that are not related to real life. Like for example, normal. Let's say a normal website with a pizza delivery system or something like that, and the pizza delivery system might have a contact page, right? That those are the things that we see in a real life scenario, which well, that's real life scenario, of course. But in CTF, it doesn't have to be real life. I'm going to say important, but it's rather focused on giving you an opportunity to learn about a certain skill or certain technique that you want to master. But in real life scenarios, like for example, bug bounty, it can be quite hard because of the realism that fit into it. And compared to CTF, it's more focused on giving you an opportunity to learn about the certain skill.
Like usually
That's like the main
we
difference. Yeah.
both of us are on the same social media platforms. Like, and
Yeah.
if I mention it properly, that there are many people who would be like completed this machine and having a hell lot of story, having the big hashtag in the hacker name. Come on, buddy, you can't hack on real websites.
Yeah.
In my opinion, personally, when there are students in my classes, we all know that, right? They will be like,
Yeah.
okay, I look for, I have done millions of this CTF, that CTF. Okay, man, that's cool. But I'm unable to find bugs, or I'm not able to find valid bugs. The reason behind that is that you have tried to find bugs on vulnerable machine. Technically, on those machines who are made vulnerable, you haven't tried the real website which is supposed to be secure. You are trying to look for bug on a
That's so
website
true.
which is
Yeah.
supposed to be vulnerable. There is a big difference between both of them. So we have to
Exactly. Exactly.
separate both of the things. So do you think that I personally agree that CTF can improve your skills, but you need to have a complete approach on your own skills. And on this condition, only the CTF will help you, or you will just get help of walkthrough and out. Like there are a lot of people who are only based on a walkthrough. They can't solve on like their own. They will be like, okay, just copy the walkthrough and just paste it. I've seen multiple people do that of for hacker one and that thing. What do you think? The hack the
Yeah, exactly. I have one thing to add on that story. Personally, I think using walkthroughs are fine. Like if your goal is to like just complete the machine and get the flags and submit to whatever the platform that is, I don't think that's a good idea because you don't learn nothing, right? But if you've been playing for a couple of hours and you don't get like anything out of it, I think I myself use walkthroughs in that scenarios. Like for example, in a walkthrough, even though you have already completed the box, you can learn about how others approach the box. Maybe that's not the
definitely.
way you approach. You can like learn a lot of things from
Like
a
many of
walkthrough.
the
I don't
people
disagree with that.
many people follow
Yeah,
checklist of other hunters, other pen tester, other hackers. That checklist works for them. It is not supposed to be that it would be work for you too. You have to create your own checklist.
same exactly.
For how many time you will be following other people's? They know how to sanitize a parameter, and you can do it in your own way. Like me and four of my friends are on hunting. I can guarantee all of us four can be bypassing the single parameter by a different payload. So you have to
Exactly,
create something
exactly.
for your own. Don't follow everything you see. You can take help of it to make something work for you, but it's not that you can be dependent on something particular for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you ever played the like the you definitely create CTF, but are you usually
Yeah.
into playing CTF in your meantime?
Yeah, I do play. Actually, at this point, I'm more sort of on a hold because of my schoolwork and classwork. This big load I'm having because of my high schools and stuff.
I can
I'm kind of in
understand.
pause these days. But I usually enjoy playing boxes and CDS events and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
Usually in school, having a description as a hacker at school, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. That guy is hacker. You don't want to mess with that guy or your ID is fucked, man. Come on, man. This is not how it works. That's a kind of funny thing. Usually, when like
Yeah,
there are a lot of friends of mine when you go to college, we'll be like some random guy that is college, that's school. Everyone will be like a different personality. They will be like, "Hey, what's
yeah,
up, buddy?" The third person who know both of you, don't mess that hacker. What's the point of it?
yeah,
And that same guy will be like,
yeah.
"Can
I
you
can
hack
relate.
this
I can
ID or
relate.
you
Yeah.
won't be a hacker?" That's a very big issue for us.
Yeah,
I
I
just
know.
want Instagram to ban the feature and the feature to text unknown persons. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, can you just give a little bit approach how you create the boxes? What is the mindset behind them?
Actually, that's a great question. I've been asked like literally more than 100 people asking the same question. Hey, dude, how do you create the box? How do you get the scenarios off your head? How do you like present it to a box and just present the idea? Actually, I've created a article about like my whole journey and my whole storyline, how I approach a box and how to approach create it. I'll give you the link so that you can share. So, firstly, actually, I've just first step is to just research, like plain research. I usually go with background reports and articles made by other researchers and CV reports and all of that. I just go through them, find them on Hacker News and online. I just go through them and find certain vulnerabilities that impress me and that I think gonna be a good for box that I make, right? So I just list them out, and once I have a list of vulnerabilities that I'm ready to present, I make up a storyline. So a storyline can be, again, according to imagination, it can be a normal Windows box. If you want to present a Windows vulnerability, it can be a Linux box.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's up to you. Once you have your storyline, for example, let's say it's a, like I said, a pizza delivery system, right? It's a system that you can like go online, order a pizza, and uh, get them delivered to your home, something like that. That's like the backbone of the box, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
theme. Once I have a theme and a storyline, I just take my exploits and I fit into the story. Uh, that's pretty much it, actually.
So it's all about having a recon based on a real life experience, and you just try to make it into a CTF box, right?
What do you mean?
Like you just take a good approach of the recent things that impresses you or that is particularly useful for the other hunters to solve, worth solving. It is not just something like a random parameter, imaginary parameter or imaginary scenario where you are trying to hack.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Like I find certain vulnerabilities and certain vectors that are found in real life application. I would call that in real life applications, and I take that and present it to a certain audience of players in a CDF scenario so that they can learn. Okay, how can I exploit such a vulnerability if I find this in a real life scenario or a real life program or anything like that?
So by the way, I am also creating few CTFs. Maybe let's see. I'm going to release them soon, so stay
Hey,
updated. I'm
that's
also
great.
creating a whole CTF.
That's great.
I hope you will collab in
Yeah.
it. I'm just waiting for a collaboration
Of
with it.
course, dude. Why
I will
not?
just
Of course,
ping
I'm
you
gonna
with all the
collaborate. Come
details.
on. Yeah, of course. Just send me a DM, dude. I'll create some couple of challenges for you. I'd love to.
Yeah, I have just created around 5 challenges. I guess let's see
Oh,
what's gonna
dude,
happen.
you should have told me, man. Come on. You
Man,
should have
it's
told me
around like
earlier.
2 months back. It's not like these days. It's around 2 months back. I'm just preparing a hell lot of things.
Oh, uh,
I
I
usually
get it. I
tell
get it.
everything on my story. It's always open to everyone.
Yeah, that's
Um,
great.
how anyone should start hack the box or CTF? A guy who creates CTF can guide better, I guess.
I wouldn't say sure about that, but I'll try my best to answer that question.
Obviously,
Right.
obviously.
So let's say uh, learn the basics of like hacking and programming and basics of all of that, and you have a general overview of how things work and how things are done, right?
Mm-hmm.
My approach would be to, like I said, go to a website, go to a platform, for like example, Hack the Box, and start picking out challenges that impresses you. For me, that's web category, right? If I was starting like right now, I would be just go on for web and checking web applications stuff like that because that's what impresses me and that's what the category that I'm interested in. So I'd choose a category like that, and I'd just literally start playing it, regardless whether you can you just have the understanding of not. Start playing it. Start messing with the challenge. See, okay, oh here's a website. What can I find in it? Where could be the vulnerabilities exist? Like that. Just argue with yourself and start doing challenge. If you get stuck, doesn't matter if you get stuck or not. Doesn't matter if you get stuck, you have got a walkthrough, right? Hack the books provided you a walkthrough. I mean, if you are retired content in machines, you can refer the walkthrough. Uh, See the walkthrough and see what you missed. Okay, well, here's something I missed. I should keep this in mind for a future scenario so that
Mm-hmm.
something like this happens again, I can refer it to and explore it that way. Just like that, repeat the process. Find a challenge, start playing with it. If you get stuck, refer the walkthrough and learn something from it. If you do this frequently, if you keep consistent with it, trust me, in a time period of 3 to 4 months, you're gonna improve a lot faster than just without like normal reading the documentation and doing that. Instead of doing that, do that process and keep consistent with it. Trust me, you're gonna improve a lot within like 3 to 4 months of period of time.
And what do you think? As a complete beginner or someone who has never has zero experience in the whole hacking field can go with the CTF? What do you think?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear well.
Hmm? Okay. Anyone with zero experience or a complete beginner can go with the CTF.
Yeah, actually, that's again another great question. Like I said, to start with CTFs, I want to say like capture the flag events. I would say you have to have a general idea of how things work because it's not like a normal like a lesson on a like YouTube channel or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like for CTF event, you have to have a little bit of understanding of how things work, how the basic concepts of hacking work, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
if you're like a complete beginner, I wouldn't like technically guide you to go and do a CTF if you don't like know anything. Of course, you're gonna have to learn something from it. Like for example, when I got started, like I didn't know anything. I would admit that I was like complete noob. I didn't know even about a file and a folder. So I didn't know the difference. So I had to start from the zero level. So what I did was I started playing with Pico CTF. It's another CTF platform like Hack the Box.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a great variety range of lessons and stuff like that. You can literally feel like a newbie like me. If you're a newbie like me, you can go to their site. You can like learn. Okay, here's a category, web category. Let's say you've got a series of lessons you can learn in the web category, and there's a series of lessons on reversing crypto and all of that. There are other like platforms like Hack the Box, Academy, and like Try Hack Me. There are a bunch of different platforms you can choose from. I started Pico CDF because back in the day, Hack the Box didn't have a academy, so I had to go with Pico CDF. And after I was done with Pico CDF, I went back to Hack the Box Academy. Now, I mean, the opportunities are endless, dude. Like you can literally start it anywhere else. Like if you have a computer, Wi-Fi connection, sure, that's all you need to start.
Definitely in this world, there is nothing hard to start. And also, what
Exactly.
CTFs you are usually interested to play, like the platforms, like the box pickle, and there are a lot of things, right? How the world up and multiple CTFs. What are the CTFs that you usually play, and you would suggest to beginners?
Um, Personally talking about me, I
Yep.
usually go with Hack the Box. That's like all the CDs I play at these days because, like I said, I've got a big workload of coming to schools and classes and stuff. So I don't have that much of time to focus on primarily for CDFs. So all the CDF I play is Hack the Box. I play their weekly machines and play a couple of challenges and stuff while I have some other projects going on. But for a beginner,
Mhm.
I don't want to say I recommend going straight to hack the books because
Like
let's
the
admit
box
it,
is
hack the books boxes are
really hard for
kind of
beginners.
hard. Yeah, actually, when I got started with it, I couldn't like own a single box. Like it was so frustrating. But now that they've got a academy and stuff like that, instead of going straight to a normal week release box, you can go to academy and play there. That academy is like designed completely for beginners. If you doesn't matter if you know zero knowledge or if you're a beginner or intermediate player, you can go straight into the academy and play. Uh, On the other hand, also I'd recommend Try Hack Me. Try Hack Me is a great platform for beginners. I always recommend beginners to go Try Hack Me and learn and play boxes, because they've got a step-by-step walkthrough of how to approach a box, what are the commands, what are the tools that you need to be working on to expert certain ability, stuff like that. Try Hack Me again, Hack the Box, Try Hack Me both. You can choose a platform you like. I would personally go with Try Hack Me first and then move on to Hack the Box.
As much as I know that people usually say track me is very easy.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Tracking is like too easy when I compare it to Hack the Books, because Hack the Books have a certain standard than a Try Hack Me. Because personally, I want to think the Try Hack Me is morely focused on beginner players,
Also,
people
there is
who
a
are
lot of
like to
theory
get into the.
than the practical, I guess.
What I mean.
In the try hack me, there's a lot of theory rather than the actual practical thing.
That's true. That's true. Exactly. That's a very good point. When we compare Hack the Books Academy to Try Hack Me, comparatively, Try Hack Me's got more hands-on labs than I
Yeah,
think in Hack the Books Academy.
there
Yeah,
is a
that's true.
complete exploration or explanation of every command. If you just take a very basic things,
Hmm.
if I say that a very basic thing like Metasploit, then the Metasploit whole thing, if you just take a look on it, that was very perfectly made out. You will learn
That's
every
true. Exactly.
possible command of that thing. So it's completely very clearly made of it, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
That's why at that point the track is way better than the hack the box. But in the end, if you want to brush up your skills in a very great way, then the hack the box is very great thing. Now, any
Yeah.
tips for
Actually,
me?
I want to add
Or
something to that point, if you don't mind.
yeah, yeah,
If you don't mind, of course. Uh, Me personally, I think when it comes to realism, like playing in a real scenario, game hands does in a real scenario, it's the best way to go for is Hack the Books, because I've created box for Hack the Books, and trust me, dude, it's really hard for a box to get accepted, because there's a review team for Hack the Box that like demolishes your box and just tears it apart and looks, or if is this step uh, fit into a real scenario. Like if you just stop like make a box and just submit it, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get rejected, because the review team in Hack the Box is like really strict, and they like literally search for everything and make sure that this box is fit into a real scenario, and players who play the box can get some really interesting vulnerabilities while having fun and while getting some knowledge. So if you want to focus on realism, like if you want to get into bug bounty, which is a real life scenario, I would definitely prefer going to Hack the Box. Yeah.
that was a particular great thing. And any tips for people like me on the internet? How can we improve our game of hack the box?
Like I said, it's about consistency, man. Like I said, if you play a box and you get stuck with it, you do it for your walkthrough, and you learn something from the walkthrough, and you just play the box and you just repeat this process. It's just built into it. If you just repeat the process for a time period of like 3 to 4 months, you're gonna get, of course, you're gonna learn some from the research and the blocks, of course, and of course you're gonna get better with your speed and all the qualities like that. So for me, it's about consistency.
Definitely, it's all about consistency, right? Consistency and keep
Exactly.
learning. Usually, the thing that happens with a lot of people are like when they started getting something, they stop learning things, and that's a very big issue. I would say that
That's a really big issue.
no matter at where you are, you just have to spend around like at least few minutes. I would say in a day to just learn something. Like you have a very brush up skills. I don't think that you would, if there is some bug of RC or any walkthrough of a hack the box. I don't think that if you're good enough to do something there, or if you're an intermediate level, I don't think you have to read the whole blog. You just need to take a step to reproduce, and you would get the whole scenario by your hand, right? So use your
Exactly.
skills. I would say that. And one more thing, last but not least, do you want to add some of the conclusions of this podcast?
Um, Yeah, actually, there were some pretty great points that we both mentioned. One of them being is comparison between CDFs and real life scenarios. Like I said, CDFs are designed for players who want to learn a specific technique, while on the other hand, real life scenarios like normal bug bounty and stuff, they are not designed to be hacked. They're real life websites designed for users to get their services. We, as a normal pen tester or a bug bounty hunter, we just
Mhm.
use their website to find vulnerabilities. So we have to understand that real life scenarios and like real life sites are not designed to be hacked. So the mindset that we have to weave those two events, CDFs and real life websites, are completely different. That's one thing I have to conclude about this podcast. Yeah.
So thanks for being here, Kavi again.
Yeah.
And that was for
Thanks for
today's
having me
podcast.
again.
Absolutely. So see you soon in the next video, and don't forget to check out the links in the description. I have mentioned all the resources I got from Kavi in the description, and also all the courses we have discussed in the starting are there. And don't forget to get your free checklist. So see you soon. Bye bye everyone.
So this was for today's video, guys, and thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to check out the links in the description.